It all started with a single tweet. A tweet so loaded, so explosive, that no one could have predicted the chain reaction it would trigger. Andrew Tate, the polarizing figure known for his controversial opinions and unapologetic attitude, launched a challenge that would unravel the lives of both himself and another heavyweight in the world of online debate, Ben Shapiro. But what happened next? How did a seemingly innocent tweet spiral into a full-blown media spectacle with both men caught in a war of words that would captivate millions? Let's break this down. First, Andrew Tate, ever the provocateur, made a bold statement about masculinity, accusing men in the public eye of being fake or watered down. He wasn't talking about just anyone, though. He aimed his criticism at Ben Shapiro, the intellectual powerhouse who built his career on debate, logic, and unapologetic conservatism. But why Ben? Why now? Is it because of their different approaches to masculinity? Was it Tate's ego and desire to assert dominance over a man who represented the very opposite of his brash style? Or was there something deeper? A clash of ideologies that was waiting to happen? For Tate, it seemed personal. In his eyes, Shapiro represented everything he despised in the modern conservative movement: safe, polished, and, most importantly, afraid to be real. And Shapiro, well, he wasn't one to back down from a challenge. So, he responded. What followed was a fiery exchange that set the stage for what would become one of the most talked-about conflicts of the year. But did Tate overestimate his ability to handle the fight he'd started? Or was Shapiro just not ready for the unpredictable force that was Andrew Tate? Before we dive deeper, I want to hear from you. Do you think Tate was right to call out Shapiro, or was it just a reckless move? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. After the first tweet, the stage was set. Andrew Tate, ever the showman, didn't just want a simple back and forth. He wanted to pull Ben Shapiro into a confrontation that could potentially expose cracks in Shapiro's meticulously crafted public persona. He wasn't just debating, he was aiming for domination. Tate's attacks weren't limited to words. He went for the jugular, challenging Shapiro on his views of masculinity, questioning his authenticity, and even throwing in jabs about his personal life. The controversy escalated quickly, gaining traction across social media, where fans of both men quickly chose sides. For Shapiro, the response had to be carefully calculated. He had a brand to protect, a reputation built on cold logic and reason. Responding with emotion or engaging in a back and forth would only play into Tate's hands, so he took the high road, or at least that's what he tried to do. Shapiro released a statement asserting that he would not stoop to Tate's level. But, as we all know in today's social media age, saying nothing often isn't an option. As Shapiro tried to maintain his calm, Tate ramped up his antics. He pushed harder, desperate to get a reaction, and that's when the lines began to blur between a public debate and personal animosity. But here's where things took a turn. Did Shapiro underestimate Tate's ability to rattle him? Or was he just waiting for the perfect moment to strike back? Could the mild-mannered intellectual really take on the unpredictable storm that was Tate? As the media buzzed, the conflict was far from over. In fact, it was just getting started. Stay tuned to find out what happened when both men collided in front of an even larger audience than before. The day finally came when both men agreed to face off in a highly publicized debate. It was set up as the ultimate showdown. Andrew Tate, the self-proclaimed alpha male, versus Ben Shapiro, the conservative intellectual. It was a battle of egos, ideologies, and personas. The moment the debate began, the tension in the room was palpable. Tate immediately launched into his signature high-energy, no-holds-barred style, while Shapiro, as expected, kept his cool, responding with his trademark precision and logic. The stakes were higher than ever, with millions of eyes on the interaction. But what happened next was something no one could have predicted. The more Tate pushed, the more Shapiro's usual calm seemed to crack. There were moments when his responses began to lose the cool, measured tone that his fans were so used to. For the first time, Shapiro seemed genuinely frustrated. And Tate, ever the provocateur, sensed blood in the water. As the debate raged on, it wasn't just the substance of the arguments that captured attention. It was the way the two men interacted. The back and forth was no longer just ideological. It became personal. And then, in a shocking moment, Tate delivered a devastating blow, a remark so cutting, so unexpected that it left Shapiro visibly shaken. But was this the beginning of Tate's victory? Or had he made a critical misstep by taking things too far? You'll want to keep watching to see how this unfolds. And as always, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Who do you think is winning this war of words? As the dust settled from the public debate, it was clear that both Andrew Tate and Ben Shapiro had been irrevocably changed. What started as a battle of words had turned into a full-blown war of public image. The fallout was immediate, with fans of both sides turning on each other, accusing the other of weakness, dishonesty, or lack of integrity. Tate, ever the self-promoter, capitalized on the moment. His social media exploded with support from those who admired his boldness and his refusal to back down. Meanwhile, Shapiro, despite his best efforts to maintain his composure, found himself the target of criticism from both sides. Some of his supporters wondered if he had been too rigid, too controlled, in the face of Tate's unrelenting attacks. Others questioned whether his refusal to engage on Tate's level had made him seem weak. But was this just a temporary blip in their careers? Or would this scandal leave a lasting mark on both men's legacies? The real question now is, what happens next? Can Andrew Tate continue to ride the wave of controversy, or will this backfire? Will Ben Shapiro bounce back stronger, or has this scandal irreparably damaged his brand? The truth is, the impact of this scandal will continue to be felt for years to come. And one thing is certain. The world will be watching as both men attempt to pick up the pieces and move forward. Now, we want to hear from you. How do you think this scandal will impact both Andrew Tate and Ben Shapiro in the long run? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Stay tuned.